souls will never die. I got 9 lives, cat's eyes, using every one of them and running wild. I'm there. Yes, I'm there. Well, I'm there. Yes, I'm there. Well, I'm there. Well, I'm back in black. Yeah, I'm back in black.
We bombed Hiroshima, we bombed Nagasaki, and we nuked far more than the thousands in New York and the Pentagon, and we never batted an eye. We have supported state terrorism against the Palestinians and black South Africans, and now we are indignant. America's chickens are coming home to roost.
I don't think that my church is actually particularly controversial.
America? No, no, no. Not God bless America. God damn America. That's in the Bible.
I wouldn't call it radical. I'd call it being black in America. It's not radical. How radical is that?
Know that he had made these statements before the videotape appeared?
You know, frankly, I didn't. I did not hear such incendiary language myself personally, either in conversations with him or when I was in the pew.
Reach out, touch faith.
Here's my point to you. If you're not going to talk about theology in context, if you're not going to talk about liberation theology that came out of the 60s, systematized black liberation theology that started with Jim Cone in 1968.
Reverend?
And the writings of Cone and the writings...
Listen,
Do you know liberation theology, sir?
Reverend,
Do you know liberation theology?
I actually studied... I studied theology. I went to a seminary, and I studied Latin.
No,
I could go...
I said, do you know black liberation theology?
I'm very aware of what you're calling black liberation, but let me get my question out.
No, I didn't ask you what I'm calling. I said, do you know black theology?
Reverend, I'm going to give you a chance to answer your question.
How many of Cone's books have you read?
Reverend?
How many of Cone's books have you read?
This is what James Cone, the man who Obama's senior spiritual advisor looks up to and whose ideas he preaches, states as black liberation theology. Quote, black theology refuses to accept a God who is not identified totally with the goals of the black community. If God is not for us and against white people, then he is a murderer, and we had better kill him. The task of black theology is to kill gods who do not belong to the black community. Black theology will accept only the love of God, which participates in the destruction of the white enemy. What we need is the divine love as expressed in black power, which is the power of black people to destroy their oppressors here and now by any means at their disposal. Unless God is participating in this holy activity, we must reject his love.
In black theology, which I developed, the blackness in that phrase comes from Malcolm X. The theology in it comes from Martin King. So I bring Martin and Malcolm together.
How many of Cone's books have you read? Reverend? How many of Cone's books have you read?
Now, you use the term white supremacy to describe not a Ku Klux Klan idea, but the state of affairs in our country today.
Yes.
Could you talk about that?
White supremacy is white people making all the rules and regulations by which this country is defined. There is one black senator of the 50 who are there. There's only one. That's white supremacy. There is the, 9 Supreme Court justices. All of them white as far as I'm concerned. One may look black, but he's white. So that's what I mean by white supremacy. That is white people's rules and regulations defining how the community and the society is going to be run. That's all it means. Now, if the powerful in our society, the white people, if they want to become Christians, they have to give up that power and become identified with the powerless if you're going to be a Christian. You can't be identified with the powerful and also a Christian at the same time. That's a contradiction of terms. Well, if you're identifying with the victim, you not only want to feel good about that, you also have to pay back that which you took. And white people took a lot from black people. You have to read the scripture through the eyes of those who are marginal, weak, helpless in this society. And when you are advantaged, I don't think you can read the scripture correctly. Now, how are you going to get a European white Jesus in Palestine? You can't get that. But with white theologians, you can get almost anything out of Jesus.
Not once in my conversations with him have I heard him talk about any ethnic group in derogatory terms.
Hillary was not a black boy raised in a single-parent home. Barack was. Barack knows what it means to be a black man living in a country and a culture that is controlled by rich white people. Hillary can never know that. Hillary ain't never been called a nigger.
I don't think that my church is actually particularly controversial.
Yes, Shanklin, Pennsylvania happened to us, and so did the Sharpsville massacre happen to us. We bombed Hiroshima, we bombed Nagasaki, and we nuked far more than the thousands in New York and the Pentagon, and we never batted an eye.
Did not hear such incendiary language myself personally, either in conversations with him or when I was in the pew.
Reach out, touch faith.
While the boys next to me doodled on their church bulletin, Reverend Wright spoke of Sharpsville and Hiroshima, the callousness of policymakers in the White House and in the State House. Did I know him to be an occasionally fierce critic of American domestic and foreign policy? Of course. Did I ever hear him make remarks that could be considered controversial while I sat in the church? Yes.
I don't think that my church is actually particularly controversial.
Senator Obama, I want to begin by asking you about Don Imus. You have condemned his remarks about the women's basketball team at Rutgers. Let me ask you pointedly, do you think he should be fired?
I don't think MSNBC should be carrying the kinds of hateful remarks that Imus uttered the other day.